A friend of mine sent me this picture a month ago when she found out that I'm heading up Mogam Institute. And I think what she meant to say is leadership is something something difficult, and you may not have a proper training. And I think she wanted to be a little sarcastic about it. It's true, science is a human enterprise. We work with people, we collaborate with people, and sometimes we persuade people to give us money to fund your research. Yet leading people is a difficult thing, because I confess we are not always rational. We are sometimes emotionally charged, things like that. Yet my job today, I'm going to talk a little bit about myself today. My job is to motivate you convincingly and persuade you convincingly. And the most important thing to do is to articulate what our shared goals are. And if we don't share that visions together, we don't have a good chance to achieve it. We'll talk about our next 10 years. So if we are the symphony, in a way, we are like one giant symphony as the team. I don't want to be one of those who are too laid back and look away from you, like this conductor here. I'm your conductor, and I want to make sure you have exciting things on your plate and get motivated to go to your work every morning, and can't wait actually to get the job done and report to your colleagues and your supervisors about what you have discovered. And that's a challenging thing to do. In that sense, I was very delighted to have a very large number of volunteers who made time and shared their science and research during our Chalk Talk. Chalk Talk was meant to be unorganized, sporadic discussions. Almost every one of you was suggested to talk in English, and only some of you did. Actually, some of you did very well, eloquently. Congratulations. And I persuaded to practice on me so that when you talk more in the public domain, you can do better. And I was very pleased, I was very delighted to hear their excitement and their creative ideas. So in a way, I feel we're really growing, and I feel we're changing. In many ways, we're very moving along. One way to get us moving in the same direction, which I'm going to share in the next slide, is to articulate my goals. And after about a third of you have volunteered to sign up, and I invited them to give us a little bit of a personal story, and I listed them under our leadership page. So this spotlight page will be recycled from time to time, and in the next round, Sunny will announce some of the dates that are available in October for round 2. Please feel free to sign up again if you are interested, even if you did it in round 1. If time permits, I'll do my best to accommodate your request. So the goals that I tried to share with you has been very carefully stated here. I spent quite a lot of time and efforts to summarize my thoughts, and I highlighted a few keywords that you can reread after you go back to your office. The first point I want to highlight is in the first sentence. Yes, Mogam Institute strives to become the premier world powerhouse for drug discovery. It's true, that's what I intend to do for the next 10 years, and you have all the talents and skills to be the powerhouse. You'll be surprised that you achieve things that other Korean institutes only talk about. We will be there because we are small, and we are nimble, and we are lean, and we are mean, and we are very smart. Second point I want to emphasize and share with you is that in doing so, we're not going to be just bragging about what we like to do. We'll be very self-critical and calculating in our science, in our projects. We will be very careful. This requires great degree of intelligence. You gotta read carefully, you gotta read critically about your work and others' work, things like that. And the third point I want to share with you as a vision of our institute is that we will dare to discover new drugs for the world. Yes, for the world. I repeated the last sentence twice because that's what we intend to do. We intend to discover new drugs for the world. Easy to say. So that's a one sentence statement. That's what I want to share with you as a shared goal. We want to be transformed into a world's powerhouse for drug discovery. Easy to say. Be transformed. In Korean it means 혁신. 그죠? Be transformed. Get ready to be transformed. It means we are not that yet. We want to be transformed, but we are not that. So I suggest we start practicing at least three things. First, believe it or not, some of you have a doubt that we can do this. That's not true. We can. Yes, we can. So I ask you to raise your heart rate and evaluate yourself. You're very talented, you're very knowledgeable, you're very skillful, you're very self-critical, and you have all the smartness to make a dramatic impact on human health. We want to rebuild on the confidence that we can do this. Can-do spirit is very important. I think that this was the subject that I told you about in my very first town hall meeting. The fear factor is always behind you, and that's something we need to practice to get rid of. The second thing is, we're learning to this. I want you to learn to disagree. I jokingly said, I'm saying this in a sarcastic way, just try to disagree. I know this is a little funny way of saying this, but try to disagree, meaning I want you to be authentically you. Authentically you means you digest your data, you digest your science and try to express in your own words. Chalk talk is a great way to do those things. And you're not good yet, but you can practice on me. Third thing is practice English. I said practice. I'm not asking you to be an American. I know your Korean is much better. I know my Korean is much better. But sooner or later, you will be at a stage to persuade your colleagues, not just in Korea, but everywhere else in the world. And I want you to be successful in delivering your message to them. So if you haven't done this, the purpose of nickname is not to make fun of you, but to have a horizontal discussion. This is important. It takes time for us to build up that horizontal relationships. I want you to be critical to your friends and neighbors. Being critical doesn't mean that being negative. Once you build enough consensus, I want your loyalty towards the same goal that we all share, and that's the vision I shared with you. To get there, these are the things that we want to practice a little more. So take English as a practice point, and sooner or later I'll demand you more to test out your English skills, and I want you to sign up for the Chalk Talk, and maybe I will ask you to chat in English from now on. But most importantly, fellows, I want you to enjoy it and have fun doing this. Okay? Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.